Hey guys, back here with another video, and today marks kind of an important day to a lot of Spider-Man fans, because in case you already don't know, which the title pretty much says it for you, today, June 30th, marks the 16th anniversary to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, and honestly, I can't believe it's been that long since this movie has been around now. I've talked about this movie before on the channel in the past, like 3 years ago. I did a review with my good friend Evan Falarka from the Spidey Squad discussing our thoughts on the film. But in this video, I am going to talk about what the 16th anniversary to this movie means to me, especially looking at it now. To start things off, when I remembered first watching the Sam Raimi movies for the first time, I watched them on DVD during like the summer of 2008. I remember I loved the first movie, and I did probably enjoy the second movie as well, but I honestly thought that the second movie was a lot more cheesier than the first film, and because of that, I didn't really view it as my favorite Spider-Man film or really the best Spider-Man movie, because at the time, my favorite probably would have had to have been either like Spider-Man 1, especially since it was probably my first exposure and definitely my introduction to the character of Spider-Man, or my favorite probably would have been Spider-Man 3, because I loved that movie as a kid, because I loved seeing Black Suit Spider-Man, and especially Venom, because I love that character so much. Looking back at this movie now, especially as an adult, honestly, this movie is a lot better than I remember it, because I see a lot of things in this movie that I can relate to, because honestly, I think there's a reason why people consider this not just the best Spider-Man film, but even some people may consider it to be the best comic book movie of all time. And I think it's because not only is this a great movie, it nails the essence of the character of Spider-Man so well. Like, I think the writing and the themes that this movie has, I think they hold up very well, because I just love the way this movie is written, because the way the movie is written, it feels more human than the first movie did, because it had some cheesy elements. I mean, all three movies have cheesy elements, but this movie is such a great movie. It nails the essence of the character very well, because something that I think makes the movie great is the fact that there's literally a ton of consequences to every choice Peter makes, whether it's him as Peter Parker or him as Spider-Man. Like, for instance, in the beginning of the movie, Peter has to go and deliver pizzas to someone within an X amount of time. When he goes as Spider-Man to try and deliver the pizzas in time, he has to go and save these kids, and so he does that. And then when he goes to try and deliver the pizzas, he's too late, and he gets fired. Another example is later in the film, when Peter is trying to go to his friend Mary Jane's play and also love interest. He tries to get there to try and be able to get to the play so then he can watch it from the beginning. He has to go and stop these bad guys pretty much, but after that, when he goes to try and get into the play, the usher wouldn't allow him in because the play had already started, and they won't let anyone in as soon as the play starts. And because of that, Peter lost his chance to pretty much see the play. So I'm sure you guys get what I mean by that. I think a reason why the character is just so beloved and why he's such a popular icon is the fact that he's relatable, and he's a character that wears a mask. You don't know who he is under the mask. It could literally be anyone. I mean, anyone. It wouldn't matter who you are. It could literally be anyone under the mask. And that's what I think makes him such a great character is the fact that he also has flaws just like all of us. Like, let's be honest, not everyone's perfect. Because we all make mistakes and we all have our own flaws and that type of stuff. And you can easily connect that with a character like Spider-Man. And that's why he's such a great character. And they did a really good job of handling that in this film, especially since this movie adapts a particular comic issue from Amazing Spider-Man, that being Amazing Spider-Man issue 50, Spider-Man No More, which is one of my favorite Spider-Man comic. And I just loved how they adapted that storyline in the movie, because at a certain point, Peter pretty much stops being Spider-Man and literally gives up being him because he interferes with his personal life a lot. And because of that, he doesn't have all the time to do all these things because he's losing grades and he's missing his friends' play and just all this other stuff. And it's because of Spider-Man that he's not able to do the things that he wants to do as Peter Parker. And because of that, he gives up being Spider-Man and just probably couldn't take it anymore at that point. But as we see later in the movie, he later comes back when he has to go and save Mary Jane and stuff. That's what I love about this film, is that, because especially with what you see Peter go through in this film, you can connect with the things that you may be going through in your life, because some of us may have some girl problems and some of us may have, problems with school, with like missing out grades or whatever. But there's a lot of great stuff in this movie, and Aunt May's speech, which you all probably know by now, that's in this movie, pretty much sums up why Spider-Man is not only such a great character, but why this is a good movie, is that there's a hero in all of us. Well, you pretty much know the rest of the saying, but this movie, it does mean a lot more to me than it did first time I watched the film, because I can definitely see the struggles that Peter is going through in myself with things that I've gone through throughout my life and may currently be going through right now. Like, I won't get too much into detail, and it's kind of long anyway, so that's why I won't go too much into it. But I've been going through stuff for like 4 months now that's been kind of bothering me, and it's kind of making me feel like I want to give up or whatever. Because I watched Spider-Man 2 like a few months ago. I pretty much connected with Peter in this film because it reminds me a lot of things that I am currently going through right now in my life. Because when I saw Spider-Man in this movie give up being Spider-Man, and then later he has the courage to come back, it makes me realize that even though I may feel down, I can always get back up again and accomplish my dreams. And so that pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to say about what this movie means to me. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.